Hello everyone, welcome to the first of these short videos which offer some reflections for Holy Week. Through these videos I'm going to be basing this on Mark's Gospel for no particular reason other than Mark's Gospel is my favourite. So we'll be thinking about what happens each day to Jesus as he journeys towards the cross and as we of course do the same. So what does Jesus do on entering Jerusalem? So yesterday we thought about Palm Sunday, the triumphal entry into Jerusalem, the symbolism of Jesus on the donkey proclaiming that he is the Messiah. What does he do after that? And I think this is a detail that we often miss. And the answer is he leaves Jerusalem again. He goes back to Bethany, which is where he's just come from, because that's where he's staying, because he has friends there who he can go and stay with. So he travels into Jerusalem on the Sunday. He goes back to Bethany. Then the next day he travels into Jerusalem again. So on the Monday he goes back into Jerusalem, this time not riding a donkey, presumably just walking, presumably just looking like an individual walking into the city as many other people were doing in that busy week leading up to the Passover. Minus the crowds, minus the symbolism. And it shows us how that journey on Palm Sunday with the donkey, with the palms, is symbolic of so much. It's almost not a journey he needs to make, it's a journey he makes for a symbolic reason to proclaim exactly who he is. And it's a journey that would be very different if someone tried to do it now, because Bethany, which is only a couple of miles outside of Jerusalem, is now a Palestinian town and it's in the West Bank. It's known in Arabic as Al-Azariah, which means the place of Lazarus, because in John's Gospel it's in Bethany that Lazarus is raised from the dead. It's in the West Bank, it's on the other side of the security fence which separates the occupied Palestinian territories from Israel. So this short journey, which Jesus does more than once during that week, now would be very difficult, and at the very least it would involve going through a checkpoint, it would include crossing a security border, crossing through the barrier. So a journey that would be very difficult, very different to do today. So when Jesus leaves Bethany the second time on that Monday, he does two things. Now first of all, he curses a fig tree. This is a curious and tricky story, but we're going to come back to that tomorrow, because that story starts on the Monday but it doesn't conclude until the next day. And in Mark's Gospel, Mark often does this. He'll start one story, he'll move on to something different, then he'll come back and complete the first story. This is sometimes known as a sandwich construction, or if you want to sound clever and fancy, it's called narrative intercalation. So two stories nestle into each other. After this, Jesus goes into the temple and he gets angry. He's not happy at the people selling animals for sacrifice. He's not happy at those changing money, because people needed special money to spend in the temple, because the Roman money that they used had the image of the emperor on it. So Jesus gets angry. He drives out the people who are selling, he overturns the tables of the money lenders, the money changers. He gets angry at what he sees is wrong. He wants the temple to be a place of prayer, not a place of buying and selling. So I think this raises a question for us. What changes do we want to see in our world? And what can we do to help? What can we do to make a change? How can we make things different? And I think today as well we could use that to pray for people who are trying to change the world for the better. So thinking of how, like Jesus, we can think of a different world, a world that's more just, a world that's fairer. So what change do we want to see in our world? And let's pray together today for the people who are trying to make it better and for those who will be helped by that change. So I'll be back tomorrow with another short video, but until then, take care, goodbye.